engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and Jon can't be beat, on the fast lane, so sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street, ooh yeah, fast lane, all night, feel the speed, feel the light, join the ride, hold on tight.
So while I'm at the track, on the side of the track, this is what Jon Williams does. In a car, mucking around. We don't want to interrupt his fun. While he's having fun, let him be. And the fast lane is back, this time from Killarney International Raceway. And Jon is in his natural habitat over here in a racing suit as we get a flyby from a McLaren 720 SQ. That now. Didn't that sound great? Speaking of flybys, this man on fire in that Ferrari 458 that's behind us. Again, proudly brought to you by eBet and OneBet. Willie is with us here today at the track and get his thoughts as well on taking a bit of a fast lap with you around Killarney International Raceway.
Ryan, it was lots of fun taking Billy around and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We could also talk about the lines and,
Sure.
like in Formula One, we always talk about the tracks being green and loose and that and not being rubbered in, obviously from the rain. Doing some racing. On the brakes, down a few gears, and again you want to just feed the throttle, nothing too fancy in these conditions, and then as soon as you see the apex, give it more gas, there we go. Then hard on the brakes, bumpy here. Again, you have to be patient in these conditions. The back wants to just come out and say, how's it? And then nice little throttle, feed it up, nice and wide. Cut the corner here nicely, and again get it back on the brakes, down a gear, nice and smooth, patient, and then on the gas, let it run wide, use the curb to hold you from going off. On the brakes, down a gear, double right, feed it up nicely, nice and easy on the gas, and then just give it 4 beans. Here we go. Yes, man. Here we go. Loving it. Yeah. Waking up now, eh? Yeah, it's saying how's it? I love it. So yeah, and that's the lap of Killarney. So we spoke a bit of technical stuff and then we had a quiet moment. We were just flat out at 200 k's an hour. So it's
now,
awesome.
The last time we saw this 458, it was in need of one or two little things to make it spot on. And those one or two things have been done to it. Jon, what have we seen on the Ferrari 458 since Hill Climb at Samola?
Yeah, I must say Darren from VDN has done a great job. He's
Well
gone
done.
from back to front with this car. We found that there was a crack in the exhaust pipe.
Okay.
So we managed to do that, but I mean, it's amazing. I love the way these guys work. They built this jig to put the exhaust pipe in and then re-welded, and I'm not going to go through all the stuff, but the car is running fantastic. I mean, we don't have that misfire anymore. The brakes are good. The tires are rubbered in, so I'm very happy. So watch out, guys, on that hill climb next year. We're coming for you.
The last of the naturally aspirated Ferrari V8 engines in this over here, the 458, and what glorious music it is to the ears. Just have a look at this now. That's Jon Williams coming past at high speed and us holding on to the side railing so we don't get sucked onto the track. It's just incredible.
Listen, Ryan, you've got to do a flyby when you're in a Ferrari past the tower. I felt like Maverick, doing the little flyby past the towers. You've got to do it. But yeah, it's just awesome. It sounds beautiful.
Jon's going to take you behind the scenes in this episode as to what happens at Killarney if you are interested at all becoming an advanced driver. If you're interested in learning how to, maybe you've bought a 458 Ferrari, maybe you've bought a 720, maybe you've bought a 911 Porsche, and you'd like to get the best out of it on a track, well then you've come to the right place, haven't you, Jon?
Yeah, no, look, we're here with RDSA, Claudia and Tristan, and they are the professionals. Obviously I help and we guide and we do what we need to do from the fast lanes point of view, but it's in a controlled environment. It's the best place to learn, so it's great to bring guys down here and teach them how to actually drive their car safely for the road, and you do it here in a safe environment, so it's great. So I can't think of a better place to be sitting than on pit lane in Killarney International Raceway. I'm sitting with Claudia and Tristan from RDSA. Guys, tell us, we're down here today and we've got some gentleman drivers here with some really nice cars. Just talk us through what the process is and why we do what we're doing today.
So the driver we're working with today is Garth, and he's done the hill climb a few times in the McLaren that he's on track now with. And today was just bring him down, get him comfortable, get in the car. It's been a while since he was in the car. The last time was Samola. So it was just to get an idea of the car, the speeds that it can do. So it's just going through the basics, making sure his techniques are right. We've got data that we can overlay as well. So we just make sure his braking is good. All those kind of applications are there. And then from there we build the building blocks up and up until we obviously get him to be a bit quicker. So that's the idea today. Shake off the rust that he's obviously developed, and just make sure those building blocks are in place.
Yeah, I think it's important as a driver, to have those foundations. Claudia, you went around the track with him initially and kind of built up the confidence with him. But I think, to really go fast, you've got to have that foundation. I mean, otherwise you just, like you say, you become reckless, you're not thinking, and then the lap time's just not going to be there.
Absolutely. We went out and we did some slow laps and it all looks fine. And then as soon as you start pushing a little bit and the adrenaline starts kicking in, you find that the adrenaline basically makes you switch off and you go into what I call default mode.
Yeah.
So all the wrong things that you would normally do suddenly pop out of nowhere, and then everything is wrong. And the biggest thing is going into the corner, that last little bit of going in, he's not in control of the car, so he's starting to have big moments. So yes, our foundation is absolutely key. So we just teach him that at a bit of a slower speed until it becomes second nature. And then when the adrenaline kicks in, he should be doing the right things. That's part of the training.
And I think it's important, we come down here, we want the guys to leave with confidence. We obviously also want to leave them having driven safe. So it's not about going flat out, because a lot of people think we come down here, this is a safe environment, it's the best place to learn, especially these type of cars. I mean, we've seen these hypercars, what they call them, are just extremely fast. So this confidence not only will help him on the track, but also taking it back to the road, which is important. And Claudia, then once we've done what we've done on the track, obviously we go off the track and we sit here in the pits and we chat a little bit about the lines. I mean, talk us through that process.
Yeah, so like Tristan said, we have data which we can overlay. So from a fast driver setting a baseline, and then we can see where his weak points are, if he's braking too early, too late. And that's the funny thing, is most amateurs brake too late and they're actually out of control half the time. So we have to pull them back and actually get them to brake a bit earlier, have control of the car, carry the speed in. And then we have track maps, which then we get them to draw the actual race line.
Okay.
And what is in his head and what he draws compared to what he's doing out there is sometimes two completely different things. So we've got to connect what he's doing with the paperwork, and then that means it's in his default sort of settings.
Yeah.
And
there he goes.
There goes Garth. That is the theory side of it, and that is very important, so that you're prepared before you go on track to know what you're actually doing.
Yes, yeah. Now look, we're going to be doing lots more of these sessions with a couple of the guys, so we'll bring the progress throughout the year. If you're looking to get into obviously karting, we haven't spoken about that, but we're going to be chatting to Claudia and Tristan over the next couple of weeks about getting your kids into karting and progressing. I mean, there's no two better guys than these two guys sitting to my right when it comes to getting your kids into karting, and then also from the driver training side, and then obviously your team spirit racing, which you guys are involved in. So we'll be bringing a lot more about that in the next couple of weeks. Tristan, from your side, anything besides winning over this past weekend, which was great? I saw that. It's nice. And the cars, just by the way, go look at them on Instagram, and I don't know if you're on any other social media sites.
So we've got our Instagram page, racing_spirit SA, and then obviously we've got Facebook and a website now that's live. So
okay,
pretty
great.
Cool. But yeah, it's good to be racing again.
Yes.
Good to have the adrenaline back in the veins. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. And like John says, we're involved in not just main circuit, but karting and various forms, and like we do today, the training. So yeah, come down and meet us and check it out.
Awesome, thanks guys. So we were talking about telemetry earlier on with Claudia and Tristan, and this is like the next level up. We've ordered a V-Box that will go into the vehicle. As you can see, it actually looks like an old school amplifier, but it's not. And then there's a whole lot of cameras and bits and pieces that will mount in the car. And then at the end of the day, this is what you'll be getting. And this is the data that we'll use to improve as Garth develops to this next phase. We'll be doing this. So you can see the driver input, you can see the screen in the front, and then here we've got all the telemetry. Braking, revs, speed, and then the G-force as well, which is quite important. Then we'll take this after he's done a couple of hot laps, we'll sit with him, and then we'll overlay. We also talked about the old school way of doing it. Perfect opportunity to drive your own lines and see where we're going wrong, and then Claudia sits with you and then changes what you think is the ideal line here.
But this is just some of the things that we do throughout the course of the 2 hours that we're here doing the driver training.
And it's appropriate that we've in this, the winning car from the Italian Grand Prix, not the specific one, but the marquee certainly is. Mamma mia! Magnifica.
Tifosi.
Win for Ferrari in front of the home crowd. What a great Formula One weekend it was.
Yes, it was special. I mean, to win in your home track with Ferrari fans, standing up on that grandstand, I mean, it's better than winning the championship almost as a
King
driver.
Charles.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that was great for him. He's won now in Monaco and at Monza.
Isn't it strange that every time you mention Ferrari, a McLaren tries to spoil the fun?
I know. They're trying hard. They're two number one drivers. Is it going to cut it? I don't know. We'll see. But Mark Webber, teammate, managing Piastri, it makes it exciting. So they're going to have to pull up their socks. But Red Bull too. I mean, we spoke about it. They're just really battling for some pace. I was thinking, is it Adrian Newey that's left? Is he already having effect of the cars so early on?
Yes. Well, listen, we'll find out soon as to if he signs that multi-million euro deal to go to Aston Martin. It's been rumoured.
Yeah.
We've heard our friend Eddie Jordan come forward saying, listen, he backs his friend wherever he goes. Just let him sign the paperwork and get it out the way. But there's been a lot of back and forth between talks of Ferrari possibly with him. And then here we are on the eve of him signing for Aston Martin. So a lot of interesting things happening. This is where we'll be this coming weekend, though, because when it comes to Killarney International Raceway, of course, we start thinking about the fact that there's an action-packed weekend here.
There's lots of racing. I see they're prepping the rallycross track across the road there. So come down, watch the short circuit racing with the youngsters on the bikes. It's actually quite incredible how these little youngsters get on these bikes and they race around. And then we've got the rallycross from 2 o'clock onwards.
Beautiful circuit.
Awesome circuit. They've got the E36 Cup, which is going to be racing around. So come and look at it. It's really exciting. And then from MotoGP, 2 wheels, we've got Brad Binder representing South Africa. And then we've got a trio of South Africans competing in the DTM this weekend. Sassus Ring, Jordan Pepper, Calvin and Sheldon, Van der Linde. I just think it's amazing. 3 South Africans in the DTM.
That's a noisy car going past there. Now that's the McLaren. Also a reminder, with Sunland Private Wealth, we're doing some incredible things. One of the proud sponsors of the Fast Lane. We'll be back up at Swartkops coming soon with some exciting stuff up. So be sure to like, subscribe, be a part of what we're doing here. Also with Breitling Watches, huge thanks to them and their involvement. Now let's talk a little bit about our garages quickly for the past week, because I've had an incredible week. All right, I know, I've got to rub it in. I've gone from the all-new C63 exactly that we saw last week to the most
incredible,
powerful AMG car ever made.
Yeah, listen.
Production car, I should say production
the
car.
The amount of torque, Ryan, when you put your foot down in that vehicle, it's like a punch to your back.
1,100 Newton meters.
You can tow your house behind it and feel nothing.
It's the GT63, so we'll have that featured for you next week. It's currently in the garage at the Fast Lane. We've got the GT63 AMG. That is what it looks like. Now you might look at it and think, it is a wolf in sheep's clothes.
Definitely.
It's a monster. But speaking of monsters, our friends at Roller Luxury Collection, Brandon's got the all new, what's not new, it's a 9912. So it's the 991 911 Generation 2. It means that they've moved away and they've moved into the era of turbocharging. It's the first vehicle that receives Porsche's turbocharged engine. It's a 3-litre twin turbo pushing out, I think, 272 kilowatts. The one that I'm driving is only got 30,000 k's on the clock. It's Spectral Sports, the sports package. That sports package comes with a sports exhaust and it's a beautiful sounding. It's a lovely car. Sunroof, it's got all the bits and bobs that make it really worthwhile. Go and check out Roller Luxury Collection for more on that Porsche 911. And from that, John, to another weekend, Go Booker of rugby. We spent some time this week. Look at that picture of John and Justin Marshall. Unbelievable.
Little drop kick there.
A little drop kick out to the wing. It was a lucky evening, or lucky week spent with some former Boks and some former All Blacks.
Just so people know, neither one of us punched him, but his paddle bat actually collected his eye in a paddle game, and we might be having a little game there. I think we've got to take him on.
So Marshy and Andrew Mertens have challenged us to a game of paddle, so watch the space. We'll hopefully be in on a paddle court with him soon. If you haven't yet liked and subscribed, do so now and enjoy the Fast Lane. We've got one more before we head off on an international little trip. I'm off to go and see if America's got better cars than South Africa. Now we've got a great selection of cars here. Off first to go and hit the Cedarburg. I'm going on a 4x4 expedition next week, by the way, in my Toyota Hilux GRS, my own one.
That's the first time it's touching dirt.
It's going out and on off-road after the Cedarburg next weekend. Proper. Can't wait for that. Then we're off to the States. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back with some more Fast Lane content next week.
Engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and John can't be beat, on the Fast Lane. So sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street. street, hit the street. Ooh,